Whoosh, whoosh. And the dance.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's so great.
Oh, boy.
Tengu was so weird, though. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah.
All right. Was it my turn? Oh, yeah, it's my turn.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Hello and welcome to episode 69 of Jobless Weebs. I'm Marco, the Beer Mexican, like every other week.
Yep, Brian.
Nice to see you again, Brian.
You too, yeah. Glad I was able to make it today.
Nice, yeah.
Yep.
I mean, if everything goes right, we didn't have an episode last week because we had a special episode, and since this technically is in the future, I mean, the past episode were just exciting because it was like a food episode that I messed up that for some reason I still love recording myself messing up.
Okay.
So
yes.
not only I cannot do YouTube by myself, but I cannot even cook.
Yep. Oh my.
But it was, I mean, the food was great either way.
Okay. That's good.
And I also finished another Beat Saber map,
Yeah.
for which I'm excited.
Yeah, looking forward to trying it out.
Yeah, the previous map that I made, the Love Lies song, I still need to fix that one.
Okay.
In that one I made a lot of mistakes, but in this one it doesn't have as many mistakes, and probably it's more playable by other people besides me, hopefully.
Nice. Yep.
But yeah, if that video is available, or if the song is available already in the webpage Beat Saber, that's where you should get your songs for your modded Beat Saber. It should be there, so please go and play it.
Yeah.
All right, but how's your week?
Yeah, it was pretty good. I did a lot of work, a bit of playing, so that was good. I also made a terrain for the first time in a Unity game engine, so that was really fascinating. But yeah, it was a really good week. Let's see. It snowed, so I had to go through that after work one day. That was pretty crazy.
But today we're here to talk about... Is it an anime, actually?
I'm not sure. Well, it's an animated show.
It's an animated show.
Yeah.
But it's not exactly from Japan because the producers were here in America.
Right.
But it had Japanese roots.
Yeah, and some of the people that worked on it were Japanese, and also like the animation style itself. I think we talked a little before. It's more of like a stop motion.
Yeah, like a stop motion. It kind of reminded me of the movie
animated.
Isle of Dogs.
Okay.
You know, I mean, the character design themselves are way different, but that's what reminded me of that. So the anime / TV show that we want to talk about, it's called Onari, Thundergod's Legend.
Yeah.
It's a Netflix original, and you know what? Yeah, no, it's not an anime because that was not an eccentric anime. Or an eccentric show.
Okay.
And we all know that Netflix only produces eccentric animes.
We have confirmed it.
So it's like everything else, it's just an animated show.
Yep. But yeah, but because it has the Japanese roots and very rooted in that, and also a lot of the traditions and stuff, we wanted to try it out and cover it. Yeah,
it was surprisingly wholesome. I mean, I think it was targeted for kids.
Oh yes, yeah, it was like TV Y7. So yeah, kids age, of course, on up. Really cool, like story and the way they presented it. But yeah, very much of that, more of that childhood
Yeah.
view of the world.
Yeah, and at the same time, I really like kid shows
Yeah.
because in a way they are still like a social criticism
Yeah.
for like kids, and like, hey, we have this cute story, cute characters, but here's the message
Oh, yes,
that
yes.
that you can learn or get from it, and
Mhm.
just be a good person. And like many other like shows for like adults or teenagers,
Uh-huh.
it's just like battling
Oh, well.
good guys, bad guys, or
Right.
bad
Or
guys
just-
with super bad guys.
Oh, sure. Just fighting and drama and oh yeah, like almost everything out there is like that, or like a ton of drama and terrible things. I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
So in this one,
But
it's
yeah,
like,
kids
no,
shows.
like we have something to show you. Like,
Mhm, mhm.
it's like, oh, I see what you're doing
Ah,
there.
Exactly.
Because I mean,
Mhm.
the show itself, it's
Yeah.
particular. I'm gonna be honest. I thought it was going to be about another like Japanese folk tale. That it's about a red oni and a blue oni, and that's
Mhm.
because when I watched the trailer, I saw a red oni and a blue oni,
Right.
and
Yeah.
that
And that's-
story is like has nothing to do with
Oh,
the
yeah.
actual anime.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and that's the famous one where they plan on getting one of the oni to like befriend humans and whatnot. And so one of the onis go and like terrorizes the village for the other one to come in and like save the day and
Yeah.
whatnot. But yeah, it's that famous one.
Yeah, and I guess this story
and I
in a
thought
way
so
is
too, also.
similar. Kind of like some of
You
the
probably
principles
could-
are similar.
Yeah. I would say the principles are very similar. They may have even were inspired by that original folktale.
I guess.
Probably with the design of the red and the blue. Obviously, we have that in this animated show. But yeah, it is kind of its own thing
Yeah.
with kind of like a family story.
Yeah, I mean it is the best, like one of my favorite genres, which is like
Yeah.
father-daughter
Yeah.
relationship. Is like,
exactly.
that's just so wholesome. It's like,
It is.
I mean, I don't have kids, but it's like I love that
Right.
kind of story.
Right. Oh yeah. There's so many out there like that.
And so to put
Yeah.
things kind of like lay out some background information,
Mhm.
this story takes place mostly with yokai, and yokai
Yeah.
are monsters, Japanese monsters
Mhm.
in the folklore, and we see tengus,
Oh yes.
we see tanukis,
Tanuki.
we see kappa.
Oh yep.
I mean-
Kappa. He's like he's
Like
so
the best
great.
friend of the main character.
Oni, or at least
Yeah,
how we
how
think Oni
originally
are.
oni are, which
Yeah.
oni are like ogres.
yeah
Yes?
exactly yeah, like ogre, kind of maybe a different variation where they do have like horns, and then generally big.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
But
mean,
yeah, that's-
and we've
that's
had
mostly it,
animes about that. And,
yeah.
I mean,
oh,
Yurusei Yatsura is
there's
like
yeah.
the main girl is an oni,
Exactly.
and
yep.
a lot of
That's a
onis
huge one.
are represented by their like tiger striped clothing,
Yeah.
and yeah, like horns.
Yeah.
Like that's an oni.
Oh yes.
But in this
Ah,
world,
yeah.
in this story,
Mm-hmm.
everything seems that a bit backwards.
Right.
To be
right.
honest.
Because nobody ever calls Naridan an oni at
Yeah.
all. Like throughout the whole show, he's just something else. I don't think they ever really said what he was, but yeah, he's just one of them. He came into the village only like 10 years
Yeah.
before like the actual story takes place. We also have We also have a couple of other strange yokai, though.
Yeah.
Like the vegetable yokai.
Yeah, and I mean,
And
those
the
are
umbrella.
those
Oh,
are
that was so funny.
genuine
so funny to
yokais,
me.
and like,
Yeah.
if you guys want to know more about like yokais, there are
Oh yeah.
2 animes that are really good about that.
Yeah,
It's Natsume's Book of Friends.
Oh yes, that's it.
And I forgot. I think it's Musashi,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
If
Mushishi.
editor me remembers right,
Yeah.
the picture is here with the name.
Oh yes.
But
Yeah, those ones are good.
but yeah, like in Japanese folktale, what I've learned from anime. I mean, we've said it before. But
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
what I've learned from anime is like, yeah, if I'm wrong, blame my anime choices, not what I've actually.
Oh, we should like studied.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, that totally makes sense.
But like,
Yeah.
all of these monsters, they're like tricky. They have powers, supernatural powers, to affect people, either positively or negatively.
Yeah.
Most of the time, negatively.
Most of the time negatively. Yeah, and it's all about like nature powers and things of that nature. For Kappa especially, they have like water abilities since they're basically turtle
And they pass out.
humanoids. Oh yeah.
Like the water,
apparently they pass out if the water
Mr. Naridan?
spills. Okay. Yeah, that weirded me out. But yeah, Kappa is very famous.
I mean, they do stick to like
Yes.
the anatomy of the Japanese folklore yokai,
Yes.
which is something that I liked.
Yeah, exactly. So in this show, we have the little girl. Her name is Onari, and she's basically the daughter of Naridan, the big red monster. Actually, an Oni, but yeah.
I mean,
So
Naridan is Naridan.
He is Naridan.
That's why
That's
they even say in the show, like,
he's Naridan.
he's Naridan.
Naridan. And so we kind of get this introduction of their home life at the beginning. And Naridan has a pretty like humble home, and they have breakfast together. They exercise with a really cool like exercise dance and whatnot. Whoosha. Oh, it's so good. And then she goes to school though with the rest of the yokai, and that's where we see a lot of the other yokai. Oh, and also another one is like a 2-headed big kid.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever.
I'm spacing out about
it
that yokai.
Yeah. I'm not familiar with that one. But yeah, it's and so we see this classroom with all these kids who are all together learning from this sensei. Oh, and another yokai in the classroom is Bird.
It's a female Tengu.
Yeah, female Tengu. That's right. And the sensei, he is, well, let's see, what was his name? It was like Sensei
Mr. Tengu, I think.
Yeah, they just called him Tengu too. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they didn't complicate their life so much. It's like,
that's right.
Let's make your name your actual like yokai name.
That's right. They did do that. Yeah. So he's like teaching the class how to be yokai, how to get their powers, and pretty early on, unless you remember the episode that they introduce it, it's like the threat is the demon moon is coming up. And that's when the Oni will attack across the bridge. Yeah.
Yeah, so they live in this village, everything's peaceful. Yeah. And this is the part where I said it was kind of like backwards. Because they mentioned like, oh, be careful, because there are some individuals called Oni.
Mm-hmm.
And like for regular people,
right, we say that there are Oni out there.
Yeah. like in Japanese folklore, oni
Uh,
are also called like yokai.
oh yes.
Yokai, monsters,
Yeah.
ghosts,
Outsiders. And,
like really, like the translation, I think that it's
oh yeah.
really vague, but kind of like that's what it tries to convey from Japanese
Right.
to, like, let's say English. It's like, yeah, it's
Right. Like
a yokai is like a monster.
Yeah.
It's like a demon.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah, demon.
And oni
Yeah.
is also like, the translation would be kind of like demon.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so these yokai, this sensei is telling the kids, like, we need you to learn to cultivate your
Kushi power.
your kushi power.
Yeah.
which comes from nature, comes from your parents. Like, whatever your parents' kushi power is, that's the one that you're going to be having too. And we need you to be strong, so we can battle against the oni, because the oni have destroyed villages and people. A lot of yokai, a lot of our people have died at their hands, and it's like
the whole village.
And don't cross it's pissed out.
Don't cross the bridge.
Yeah, why did I forget that word?
Oh, yeah. Oh, no worries.
It's like,
but yeah,
like, don't cross the bridge. Like, that's the realm of the oni. So it's like, only
and that's
here it's protected and whatnot. And it's like,
and so that bridge is kind of like that danger spot. Don't cross the bridge, or you'll be in oni territory. And so it's like that mysterious aspect. And
for the first episode, I thought it was really well timed. How they were just like, she was, Onari was going from school.
Oh, yeah.
Home. Yep. She had a peaceful life and everything, until this moment came, like the kushi powers, and everyone was displaying powers. Some of them ridiculous, some of them amazing.
Oh, yeah. Some only partially.
Yeah.
And then she goes up there, and she's also very imaginative, but we ultimately find out she doesn't have any at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
that's devastating.
It is really sad. It's like, okay.
It's like because she wants to be like the hero, the legendary hero who flies through the sky and things like that.
Yeah, like throw thunderbolts.
And, and that's like her dreams.
And it's riding a cloud.
Yeah. Yeah. So she has dreams to aspire to, but at the moment she's not showing anything. Oh, that was so sad.
And that's also the turning point, because then she's frustrated.
Yeah.
Her dad, it's not exactly the type of person you can, talk.
Oh, right. Yeah, so Naridan, he's maybe more like mentally challenged.
Yeah.
Maybe he has like social...
Which is something that I also liked.
It was really well done.
Because it's like, it's, it's kind of taboo to talk about discapacities.
Right. Disabilities.
Like or disabilities in general. It's like, oh no, you're not supposed to talk about that if you're not disabled. But it's like the way that put like a disability, because it didn't look unnatural.
Right.
It blended really well. And at the end of the day, or during the first chunk of the show, it didn't really matter, because he was able to perform as a perfect dad.
That's right. Naridan he's just like so on point and so good.
I mean, he was like a kid, but more mature and responsible.
Yeah.
At the same time. Like an adult.
Yes. Like exactly.
Like a proper adult.
Because like he's preparing meals, he's playing with Onari, he's helping her like grow and stuff like that. Yeah, he just can't talk. He kind of does the like the noises, and and he loves to play.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's really, really good at everything for Nari. So yeah, it's incredible how they show that. Mhm. Well, especially the natto on the rice. Oh, it looked pretty good, actually.
And so the conflict
yes.
of the actual show starts
Yeah.
when Onari also feels frustrated with Naridan because
Yeah.
he's not really showing his Kushi power.
Yeah.
So
And
she's
he's
like,
not like telling her how to be like him or yeah, that I think that was the main thing though, that he wasn't showing his Kushi power at all. Yeah.
and so she's like, oh, well, I'm gonna go to. I'm gonna cross the Oni Bridge and I'm gonna fight them either way. Like, I don't need Kushi powers. I can just beat the crap of them myself. I mean, she didn't say that, but that's what she meant.
Oh yes. Yeah.
And so she goes, and everything's dark. She sees some.
Oh yeah, Morinoko.
Oh yeah, the Morinokos are spirits,
the Morinoko.
are good spirits.
Uh-huh.
And she sees Morinoko dying. When she crosses the bridge. She also sees, like, I would say, like a dark mist with yellow eyes.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And there's also a thunderstorm happening.
That's right.
And so when she's about to confront the Oni, or at least what she thinks is the Oni, then a freaking thunderbolt crashes, and she sees Naridan, and she's like, "What the hell? Like, that's so awesome!"
Yep. Oh, so cool.
And so, like, from there, she's like, "You're a Thundergod," and like, apparently, Thundergods are like on top of the food chain in the yokai.
Oh, apparently, yep.
He's like, "Are you freaking Thor?" Like,
yeah, literally, yeah, and that's when she's taken up to fly through the clouds with Naridan, and Naridan beats his drum, and that's where he can like create that thunder and that sequence was really, really cool.
So now she knows that she is the daughter of the Thunder God.
Yeah.
Which is good and bad.
Right.
Because that now inflates her ego through the roof.
It certainly does. Because it makes her believe that, she will eventually inherit this type of power set or this kushi from him. Since he is her dad.
Yeah. And at the same time, there's a visitor in the village. And this visitor tells the tale of the famous Storm Brothers.
Yeah.
And turns out that this guy, it's Onari's uncle. He's Naridan's little brother.
Yep.
And so he's like, "Hey, what are you doing? Like, aren't you supposed to be teaching her how to how to use her Kushi powers?" He's like, "Because the blood moon is coming, and if we have the Thunder Gods, like, we're gonna be super ready for this."
Yeah. So he keeps pushing and pushing for Naridan to teach her how to use her Kushi, and he doesn't really want to though. He's very like hesitant, very like, no, I don't want to, even to the point where he refuses to give her his drum to practice on. And so she's given like a training drum by her uncle.
Yeah,
he's
Putaro.
Yeah. And so she's like practicing, but this part, it's like preparing for that threat, and she's totally believing that this will work eventually. This sequence also is pretty nice. I liked that they kind of practiced. They still like danced together, Naridan and Onari, and also like did some like training and whatnot. But yeah, it's mostly not quite working for her yet.
Yeah.
Still. Yeah.
Let's just like
Oh yeah.
really skip
Skip.
a lot of good parts that
Oh yes.
are for like character development.
Oh yes, yeah. There's a lot.
She sadly
Oh yes. Yep.
doesn't have any powers. And which this time is more frustrating because there were a lot of expectations from everyone, especially from the sensei,
Oh yes.
to the point where even the sensei gave priority
Yeah.
to Onari than
To-
any of the other kids.
Yeah, even his own daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is like, okay, that's a bit messed
Oh yes.
up, but it gets addressed.
Oh, it does.
I like eventually. And so also the uncle notices Onari's
oh,
toy doll.
Yeah.
and he's like, look, cute toy. Like,
Right.
where's it from? I'm like, oh yeah, it's my mother's.
Yep.
And I'm like, yeah, and my mother died, and he's like, huh.
Yeah. So
Okay.
now he's like super suspicious. That part was really like, okay, what's going on?
Yeah. It was really good because
It
like
was.
he
It was so
goes,
suspenseful.
Putaro goes with Naridan until like,
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
yo,
Confronts him.
like,
Yeah.
what the heck?
Yeah.
He's like,
Oh, dude.
that doll is from the Oni. It comes from the Oni side.
Yep.
And so you know what? When I was watching it, I was like, what?
Yep. Well, throughout this whole time, though, I was thinking like, okay, this threat is from the Oni, but I was so confused because I for sure knew Naridan is more of what an Oni should be.
Yeah.
Or what I think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
throughout
thing,
the whole show, because I think that this happens like around episode 4.
Okay.
And every episode is like 45 minutes long. So
yeah, and there are
all the previous episodes.
Oh yes.
I've already mentalized that that this movie, this world, is just completely
like
habitable, or like the only living things are yokai.
Oh yeah. I kind of mentalized that too, but exactly what I was thinking. But then I was thinking that Naridan would something would happen to him because the threat is supposed to be from the Onis. But yeah, episode 4.
Yeah, like this whole time you're like,
so the suspense.
Okay, and you start connecting the dots, but at the very beginning,
slowly,
you're like, wait, you're. All this time I've been imagining like the Oni being some just like mysterious monster.
Right. Yeah. Across the bridge.
Yeah. And then it's like, wait, what do you mean?
Yeah.
That doll is from the Oni side.
Yeah. So now it's like alarm bells are ringing.
And so yeah, it's just so great, and I don't want to talk about that because those probably will be major spoilers.
Oh yes,
that bring nothing. Well, I mean they do bring, but
sure. But it mostly just highlights the fact that they weren't aware about the whole situation, and it basically highlights Naridan's character, or kind of what he was trying to do this whole time. With like his, of course, father-daughter relationship with Onari, which is really the whole, I would say, like the whole focus of the show. And another character does get introduced, and then things happen, of course, and there's some crazy stuff. But yeah, we eventually get to that point where Onari is like ostracized from the village for reasons, but then the huge demon moon, or like the red moon, it gives the climax of the show, and yeah, that's where they have to like realize like what really creates monsters. Like,
yeah, I mean,
and it's not just
it's,
like
it's kind of hard
yeah,
trying to be abstract. Is
because
that's actually a really
it's
twist.
it was a
But
huge
yeah,
twist.
Let's try not talk about it.
Yeah,
And if
let's
we
not.
can't, I mean, there's no other way around. We will
Right.
have to talk. But
Well, I liked the part where a lot of the climax was about overcoming their own fear. That's what I really, really liked.
yeah,
That alone was like, this is a gem. This is like
yeah, because
This is
they don't fight
incredible.
the Oni, or what they thought
yeah.
was the Oni.
Yeah.
Because
Exactly.
after the climax, and since we're trying to avoid the subject,
Yeah. Because of spoilers. Highly recommended.
it's like,
Yeah.
but one of the things that we can talk about is like all the yokai, they start to emanate a black mist whenever they are angry, or like when their emotions are negative. Overall.
Oh,
It's
yes.
like, be it angry, be it fear,
Uh-huh.
be it frustration,
Yep.
all the Oni start emanating this mist.
Yeah.
And so there comes a point where Putaro confronts Nariden.
Mhm.
They have a fight, and he pretty much locks Nariden and tells, like, you know what, like, if you're not gonna help, at least don't get in the way. So you're gonna be here, and I'll be back when we're done dealing with the
Yes.
Oni.
Oh, yes.
And also at this same point, Onari, it's, as you said, she was ostracized.
Yeah.
So the rest of the people in the village don't have anything good to say to Onari,
Yeah.
because they see her as a traitor.
Exactly.
And so
yeah.
all of them are so angry.
Mm-hmm.
And then it kind of happens. There's like a black monster,
Oh, yes.
and then all of the people, they're like, what the heck is that? It's like,
Yeah.
I don't think that's
Yeah.
that's
this
an
is-
Oni.
Right, because it's not right. It's not. Yeah, it's not what they thought Onis were. But yeah, that was really scary, because it has glowing eyes, glowing mouth, and it's just like huge black mist. So the whole village is alerted to this, but it's not quite what they were like thinking would happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so turns out that this black monster, I didn't get that part, because turns out
Yeah?
that black monster was Nariden.
Oh yes, this is
I was
right.
like, how did he get out?
Right. So
I
yeah,
didn't get that part.
so what I'm thinking would happen, because he was stuck in like the cave that
Yeah.
collapsed, right? Yeah, so I was thinking that after we were shown the scene where we see the black mist surrounding Naridan's legs, that he may have like fully got covered by this mist,
Oh, right.
breaking out of the cave.
I guess,
At
because
least that's what I think happened.
pretty much the black
Yeah.
mist of all the other yokai was absorbed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then it was turn for Onari to tell him, like, hey, chill, because
Yeah.
you guys are just making these things worse.
Yes.
And then
That's right, that's
that part was so cute, because like
Oh, it
then
was.
she recognizes Naridan.
Yeah.
and
somehow.
Everyone was trying to fight him
Yeah.
with their crappy powers.
Oh yes.
It's like,
Oh yes.
I
Or
mean,
even the
honestly,
spears.
what's
yeah.
a Tengu gonna do? Like,
Seriously.
the only power of a Tengu, it's
Yeah.
strong winds. It's like, I
Yeah.
don't think wind is gonna cut it against thunderbolts.
Oh yeah, exactly.
And
Yeah.
so it was like, she starts dancing,
Oh yes.
and then
The
she's like,
what shot?
and then
dance.
everyone start dancing, and they're like, "Are
Yeah.
you sure this is working?" 'Cause-
Yeah. Oh yeah. So they all join her in doing that because she knew it was Naridon, and we can like see kind of like the shape of his face in the cloud. And yeah, it takes like a little while for the dance or for them to do that. And even Uncle Potaro joins in.
yeah,
I thought that was pretty great.
yeah, that was great, and so they rescue Naridan,
Yeah.
and Onari gives the speech, gonna say like, "Yeah, you know what?
Mm.
Fear is the real Oni.
Yeah.
Like your fear of being destroyed, or and your anger that the villages were destroyed before, and like all those negative emotions, all your hatred, that's the thing that's making you a monster, not the monsters that you think are out there." It's like,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yes, I thought that was great.
and we also get the backstory of
Oh, we do.
Onari,
Oh, we do. Yeah. Yeah.
and it was sad. It was
It
sad.
was so sad. Yeah, it was really sad. But what really got me was Naridon when he broke off his own horn. Yeah.
Yeah,
And that like obviously for reasons, but yeah, it's like wow for him to do that.
yeah. And the thing with the Onis,
Mm.
it's their power comes from their horns.
Oh yeah.
If they break their horns,
Mm.
then they don't have a power.
Oh, okay.
That's also like, I mean, and that also comes from the story Momotaro.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
Momotaro
The
slayed
beach ball.
Onis, and the way he would
Ah,
slay
yeah.
them
Mhm.
was like cutting their horn, and now
Oh,
they're powerless.
Yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
so, but I mean,
Similar.
I'm
Oh, but yes.
deviating.
Oh, hey, that's
and
that's
so
a great one. Mhm.
after everything's fixed, relationships are fixed,
Yes.
then
Mhm.
Uncle Butaro is like, "Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go to other villages, tell them that the Oni that we think are the threat are not exactly the threat, but it's
Mm.
us." And it's like, I mean, in a way,
Mhm.
the real Oni that they thought, they were a threat, in a way.
Well, yes, that's absolutely right. Yeah, because of what was happening on the other side of the bridge. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I would say that they were a real threat because the yokai do kind of represent the whole aspect of nature and the land being the way it is naturally and things like that. So yeah, I would agree. But yeah, it probably is definitely very shocking for everyone that will try it out.
Yeah.
For sure. I was definitely shocked because I was like, wow, I did not expect this.
Yeah, I mean, and it was kind of normal, but I mean, at the same time,
Yeah.
the thread was also stopped.
Right. It was, wasn't it? Yeah.
Because of their shenanigans. They're like, oh yeah, and you guys will see which thread we're talking about and how it was stopped. I was like, yeah, you probably what you went through was kind of like necessary.
Oh yes.
But oh boy, I hate that we can. I mean, we can, but we shouldn't talk about it.
Oh yes, yeah. It's a huge. It's the twist of the whole show. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Thoughts of the show? I really liked it. I really liked the whole aspect of how the yokai are shown. The story with it, the development was amazing, and I actually do want to look into a little bit more of how they animated it and see like what they used for that.
Oh yeah,
I think that'd be really cool to look into.
yeah, because
But yeah,
that kind of like
I,
stop motion thing, like
very
it's
unique.
unique and hard. Because it's like you
Yes.
have to like click, click, click,
Yeah.
click, click. So it's like,
Right.
oh boy, I don't have the patience for that.
Oh no. Yeah. But it made me think that the show was animated at the very least, but it does have that quality of like
Yeah,
that
definitely.
yeah, it was really cool. So yeah, it was very fun for me to watch, and definitely highly recommended. For young kids, it's not too terribly scary, but it could be visually shocking at times, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
Probably,
but it is
especially
rated
the
TV 7 at
the
least.
part after the climax,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
But in general, I think it's like a family-friendly story,
Yeah.
which, you know, a lot of the anime we talk about are not
yeah.
exactly family
Right.
oriented.
Yeah, strictly speaking. Yeah.
But yeah, great anime. Like it
Mm.
has great lesson to learn. And like
yes,
don't,
it does.
don't be a jerk,
Yeah.
essentially.
Oh yes. Yeah.
And yeah, at the end, Onari stays with her dad.
Yeah.
And they live happily ever after.
They do, yeah. Oh, I loved it. The very ending is them sitting. They're sitting up high on the landscape. They're looking out into the view and stuff, and we kind of see them from behind, and then it goes to a kind of like a still, or like a picture of them sitting there. I loved that part. But yeah, really highly recommended for anyone like you with who appreciate like the father-daughter relationship, living that life the best way they can, and then also for anybody interested in like really good like motivation of a story, I guess, or kind of like that motivation of trying to make the family work.
Yeah.
So yeah, really highly recommended for that reason alone.
Oh boy. But yeah, I hope you guys like this episode.
Yep.
Go watch Oni Thunder's Tale,
Yeah.
Thundergod's Tale, and we'll see you next week.
Till then.